everybody. Of course, I'm talking to nobody because nobody's here. But that's okay. So what I want to do, now that I can go live, is simply go live, do my thing, and if people come in and see it, and want to hang out and talk, they can. And if they don't, well, I have enough personalities to ramble on to myself long enough. This is my second live, everybody. I did a short live the other day just to celebrate. I had 5 people come in, 5 views total. Nothing special. Right now I'm being poor. I don't know another way to say this one. I'm being poor. When I get stuff from the dispensary. Hey, Marketplace, how's it going, B? How are you doing tonight? I'm just getting ready to pack up a pipe and do some drawing. I got a special video coming out for you. Something to go a little along with the tutu, but I'm not going to give you any spoilers. Just know there's something coming for you here in the next couple of days. I'll show you the piece that I'm working at right now here in B. Just a random piece, kind of like what Weeds Art does. Just random doodles. And this is again inspired by Weeds Art. I love his doodle work, and the size that he does is amazing. I've added a couple things. Obviously the luck with the lucky horseshoe. The number 187 is the number for homicide. You never forget that as a young G. And then when I was 13, notice 187 is also hidden in that 13. That actually was my tag. I was the lightning bolt. But then I learned a little bit about lightning bolts and realized that lightning bolts are kind of a white supremacist thing. And I'm definitely not a white supremacist. To fight, despite having short hair, no, that's not me. So I decided to go away from the lightning bolt. If y'all don't mind, I'm gonna smoke and do what I do. This is just what I do. The whole point of going live is just so I would occasionally have someone to talk to who comes in and wants to chat. Stay as long as you like. Leave it if it offends you. That's fine. I do this for medical reasons and recreational too. So, anybody wants to question me, I do have my medical card. I do live in a medical state, and I do live in a recreational state. So weed is 100% legal here. And in my house, it's legal to grow. But I'm not growing yet. So we're going to take a nice puff off of this. And we're going to get working on my art piece. I got my microns out. Microns are just what they sound like. Micro pens. Trying to find a couple different ones to show you here. So I work in a couple different sizes and styles. Here we go. Alright. You're sticking around, I'll show you a couple little microns that I work with. Just sitting at the park. Yeah, I wish I was sitting at the park. I honestly do. But I can't legally smoke outside sitting at the park. Not that I haven't done it before, but when I use microns for my art, that's the tip, okay? This is the typical tip that I start with. We'll bring that down, put a little teardrop on. Can you see it? Yeah, that's what I'm drawing with. Now, that's a size 8. I also have them in different colors. I didn't know if it's blue. Yeah, that blue tip shows up a lot better. But again, these are needle-tipped markers for drawing. And then we have, believe it or not, even smaller tips. And that was a 0.8 or 0. This is a 0.2, which is actually a 0.3 millimeter tip. 0.3 millimeter tip, okay? That's not small. We go in as far as, trying to find my special one. Probably the one facing the wrong way. Yeah, sure. We go as far as 005s. So gotta have their numbers on the things. Oh, sorry. This is 005. Just facing weird in the camera. This is a 0.2 millimeter tip. 0.2 millimeters. And you can't even see the marker. Okay? How many cars in my collection? In boxes, last I counted, I have over 400. And most of them are all from the early 90s and late 80s. And then I have probably close to 500 or 600 out of box cars. So yeah, my Hot Wheels collection started from when I was very young. And even now, baby girl who's in the photo, sort of, she's the one I always point to in my videos. Baby girl buys me Hot Wheels still because she knows I love them. Now this is a normal marker tip that most people are used to working with. This is a flat tip marker, judging by the flattened tip. And this is a 3, which means it's a 3 millimeter. So yeah, we go from a 3 millimeter all the way down to a 0.2 millimeter. But right now we're just doing a lot of normal detail, so we're using our 0.8 micron. Not that one. This one. Yeah, thank you, I've been collecting Hot Wheels forever. Never stop. I try to never stop being a kid. I wish I could play music, but I don't know the laws of like playing music. Like I have a CD. I legally own that CD. I legally have the rights to play it. But can I legally play it on YouTube? That I don't know. And it's not even like swearing and things like that I'm worrying about. It's the copyright issues. So yeah, that's kind of the way I feel. Without knowing, I don't try it. Now I know I can smoke all day long, but they're really, really weird about the way they allow me to smoke. For instance, the other day I did just a quick, short 7-minute video outside. But because I was outside smoking, they flagged it as age restricted. I don't get that. I can smoke a joint inside, it's not age restricted. I can smoke a joint outside, it's age restricted. But I can legally smoke outside my property. Or not outside my property, I'm sorry. I can legally smoke outside on my property. I know the laws, people. I gotta have to know the laws, okay? To be a medical person, you gotta know the laws. You also gotta know what you're smoking on. You don't want to be smoking on stuff that's not working for you. So it's taken me a couple years to build up my smoke profile. And the smoke profile is which strains work best for me. This happens to be one of my favorites, known as Bio Jesus. Definitely works best for me. Really calming at night. Puts me in a good attitude. And I can just concentrate on doing whatever I want to do. Which right now I'm trying to draw. Which is kind of boring when you can't see the picture. Right now I don't know how to best do that and see chat. But now that I can go live here, used to have a Twitch, but I didn't have very many followers on Twitch. Definitely didn't have 50 like I do here on YouTube. And if it wasn't for MB, I would not have 50. I jumped into one of her chats and thankfully they got me up to 50. But then it took YouTube 4 days to realize. I'll give it to them. It was a holiday weekend. But I didn't realize YouTube people took 4-day holiday weekends to figure out that your sub count went from 48 to 57. And I'm thankful for each and every one of those people that have just clicked on the subscribe button. Because more than anything, what I want to be able to do is share truth and knowledge with people. Share my drawings with people. Share my... just who I am. You see, I had to make a very difficult decision about a year ago now. And that decision was to walk away from my Facebook and walk away from my Instagram and walk away from pretty much every single person I know in my life. Including communication-wise. I don't have a Facebook Messenger. I have a WhatsApp. And only my brother and my sister use it in emergencies. My brother talks with me through it all the time, but right now I talk to a handful of people. When I say handful, I mean my mother, who I live with, my sister, who I live with, my brother, who lives just down the road. You know, I could probably throw a Molotov cocktail his way, and if I could hit him by the crow's flight. But we know which way we want to aim that cocktail, don't we, Robert? And I'm thankful for Robert, too, because he introduced me to a lot of these people. But yeah, I talked to my mother, my sister, my brother, and my girlfriend. I don't have friends outside of here, okay? Occasionally my neighbor comes by and wants to smoke up. So I give her a little bit and we smoke up. Lawn mowing guy comes by, I try to say hi to him and thank him for mowing my yard, and you know, I've made a deal with him. He mows my yard once a week, I'll throw him a joint once a week. He's happy with that. He knows I smoke the good stuff. He can't afford the good stuff, so he's like, man, He says, every time I mow your lawn, I always come by the window and I have to go slower because, man, it always smells like you're smoking something good. Yeah, brother. Anytime you want to hop off, take a break, man. I'll keep a beer in the fridge for you. I don't drink it anymore, but somebody else can have something. So yeah, you make deals like that. I can't afford to get my lawn mowed, and I can't do it physically myself. So I made a deal with the lawn mowing guy. He's happy. I'm happy. And the guy that used to do it last year, he doesn't smoke. He's a truck driver, so if he gets caught with it, meaning that he travels from many different state to states. So I've always respected him, never offered, and when I can, I used to get out and sit out and talk with him, but I rarely talk to anybody anymore. And it's just the way it is. So that's the beauty of going live, is that I can just actually connect with somebody, even if it's only for a few minutes. And yes, my brother is pretty damn amazing. There was a difficult period where we didn't talk for a few years. And it was because we were both being manipulated by outside influences. And at a time when we probably should have come together, we broke apart. But I started working at a place, and I had to drive by his house every single day to get home and to and from work. Sorry, I'm trying not to cry on this. One day there was a little God, a little angel on my shoulder that said, "You better stop this car and go talk to your brother." I know that day when he swung open that door, that was the last face he thought he'd ever see. And I just asked for forgiveness. So I'm tired of not having you around. I miss my brother. And since that day, it's just been healing after healing after healing. I'm glad I stopped too. Despite all the times he's tried to kill me. And B, if you want to stick around for one more story, I'll tell you this one real quick. We went kayaking This was during a period of time when we were talking earlier, and we went kayaking. It was my first time kayaking. There was another girl coming along with us that I had never met before, but my brother was kind of hoping maybe I'd hit it off with her. But no, that didn't happen. But he put me in an intermediate kayak, okay? Not a beginner's kayak. I'd never been kayaking before. Full sticks me in an intermediate kayak, which is narrower than the beginners. So I was already on steady ground, you know? Or unsteady ground. We get into the river. The river was 15 feet over flood stage. Let me say that again. It had already reached flood stage, was 15 feet over flood stage. So we weren't just on a river, man. We were on a river that was doing probably about 40, 50 knots. The Rock River, okay, going through Illinois. 15 feet over flood stage. We launched at the bottom of the dam. First thing my dumb ass did is roll out. You know, there's a couple of fishermen there, and I'm trying not to disturb them because, you know, I was a fisherman, and being a fisherman, I didn't want to, you know, disturb these guys. But first thing I did was roll out of the kayak, straight into the water. Thankfully, I was right by the shore, so it took me about 3 or 4 tries in chasing the kayak down and unfortunately tangling up in the fishermen, but they weren't having much luck catching anything, and they were having a hell of a laugh watching me try to get in this kayak and fall out half a dozen times. We hit a spot where we were going to go to a fork in the river, and we were supposed to go to the right, but I couldn't get my kayak going in the right direction. I hit into a river eddy or something that just took me right into the middle of the fork, which was a down tree and water going underneath the tree and coming. I mean, I promise you, I died 3 times that day and came back to life somehow. You know, they say a cat has 9 lives. I've used 15 of them. Oh my god. Well, I finally got it figured out. And then I started having some fun. Once I figured out how to control the kayak, it wasn't so bad, but it took me a long while to figure out how to control that kayak. Even to the point where Robert had to come back, rescue the kayak, because it had gotten stuck underneath that log, as did I. And he thought I was drowning. He literally thought he was coming back to a body under the water. And I'm like, Robert, I need help! No, thank God I wore my life vest, which I always do in the water, because, you know, I don't trust myself. I'm not a strong swimmer. But even so, we had to drag the kayak and myself. He had to drag the kayak and myself in his kayak, kayaking to the shore to get to a point where I could settle and get myself back. Yeah. Boy, we've had some adventures. Oh, we've had some fun. That day'll never end in my memories. That was so fun. Oh, lost my lighter. It's something that always happens though. There it is. Always hiding somewhere. 24 minutes live. It says there's 2 people here, but so far I've only seen Marketplace comment. So, maybe Andy signed it in the background. I don't have any other account, so not like I'm logging myself in somewhere else. Decided from the very beginning I wasn't going to cheat it. I wasn't going to do it the easy way and make like 50 fake accounts. This is my only account. I do change my name quite a lot. But one of the main reasons I changed my name is because of the different phases I get into my life. I feel like at different phases I'm a different person. And right now I am Sir Smokes Alot. And that person is one giving reference to a great, great character and great comedian, Sir Smokes Alot from Half-Baked. Classic stoner movie. So that's where Sir Smokes Alot comes from. Is my reverence to that stoner movie. But I also have the persona of the Lion. I used to be known as Sir Sean the Lion. That one comes from when I was a young kid. One of my favorite little golden books. One I could wish I could still get my hands on, an original tawny, scrawny lion. So I was always taught to have the strength of a lion while going through my childhood cancer and chemotherapy treatments and medications and surgeries and all that. But because I was so underweight and so scrawny, I always felt like the tawny, scrawny lion. Who in the end was still a very brave lion. And chose friendship over food. Yeah, it's been rough, MB. Hey, Andy. Mr. Trucker, I thought you were probably hiding in there. How did I know? Huh? How did I know? Unless you just happen to come in. Maybe you just happen to come in. There's another person, but... We're just having our evening smoke session, doing a drawing. Got some random things that I've put on the paper first, and then, whoop, sorry, turn into something else. If you follow Wheat's art, I'm doing something kind of like what he does, the doodle art drawings. Definitely, he's miles above me. I mean, the size that he does, he's the one who inspired me to do my giant geometric piece that I'm working on right now. I'll show you guys a glimpse of. I've done a lot of work in pencil so far, and I got a lot more work to do in pencil, but I've started marker step just to add some color. So that's what the major piece is that I'm working right now, 24 by 30. And I just gotta take a break from it every once in a while because it's just so daunting to do something like that. Look, now I gotta get this camera back in a good spot. And I think drawing in front of me actually does work a little bit. You guys can kind of see what I'm doing a little bit there. So. Well, anytime you want to head out marketplace, you've definitely supported me enough that no complaints there. I don't know what it's like in Michigan right now, but it's getting pretty dark here. They're a little bit north, I don't know. Northwest. Or northeast, rather. From where I'm at. By the crow fly. We got some bio Jesus in the pipe. Anybody's wondering. One of my favorite strains for the evening. Just relaxes me pretty well. It's being a good mindset for doing whatever at night, because typically I'm awake always throughout the night. I typically sleep about I'll fall asleep usually around 4 o'clock in the morning, and maybe sleep till 9 o'clock, 9:30. I gotta take my meds around then. And depending on how I'm feeling, depends on whether or not I go back to sleep and wake up at 2 or 3 in the afternoon, or if I wake up then at 9 o'clock and try to get going with my day. It also depends on the way the meds are hitting me and nutrition. Like right now, you can tell I don't have my rings on, other than a couple of fingers, and that's only because these aren't sliding off. Whereas my other rings right now, where did I put them? I've been hearing them mangle. Oh, they're inside my hat. My other rings right now, I'm dehydrated and underweight, so these are just flopping right off. They're not staying up where they need to. So, gotta get myself weighed and make sure I'm not too low. Well, yeah, I'm always awake at night. And that's when I do a lot of my best studying. And a lot of my best creativity work. Usually I have music going, at least in my headphones, so that I have some background noise other than my fan. But I just talk to myself, that's all I ever wanted to do, was just talk to myself. Talk to Chad as best I can, but I'm trying to ignore the fact that Andy just said he's in 70-degree weather. Man, I wish I was up there. Or down there, or wherever that is. 70 to 80 degrees, man, I feel pretty good in that. That's what I could exist in all around. I'd probably do okay. Much higher than that, my body, for some reason, dehydrates very, very quickly. And fluids, fluids are very difficult to get in and keep in, especially with an ileostomy. Yes, I do actually do colors. I'll show you a couple of pieces that I've done in this book here in color. I like working in pencil mainly first.
Can I have another pillow, please?
I'm doing a lot right now, but there's one.
I'm sorry.
That's fine. These are just a couple of weird creatures that I drew one night. So yeah, I do actually do color, but I don't know. That was just something weird that came to me one night and I started doodling. We got better pieces than that though. Here's what I'm doing all in charcoal. So we got the hidden staircase over here. So something I'm working on. Here's one that took me forever. Forever. Every single bit is a dot. And even in between the dots where you think there's nothing, there is something. So to create this whole thing was dots. And what I had no plan in doing this, but what it became, you know, the wavy guy, the wavy arm guy that you see outside of like car dealers, used car dealers and crap. So this is the wavy armed guy running away through the carnival. He got loose. The wavy armed guy got loose. And so now he's just running his way through the night and through the carnival, trying to find what he can find. I appreciate the comments, but I honestly don't think I'm that good. I judge myself against others too much. Here's just a straight, wacky marker piece. See if I can pull out another sketchy here. Since you guys are sitting and interested, let me see if I can get my other sketchy. 1 minute. Oh, I see where it's at. Gotta use my reach here. Tell you what, being a CNA many years ago paid off majorly. Major. Because I know how to use all the special devices that you have to use to put your socks on and all that crap. And now that I pretty much live in my bed, it's good that I know how to do that stuff. This bowl's getting kind of tapped already. You know, I can say one thing that not very many people can say. This is a little, I won't say NSF, but maybe for mature audiences only, okay? I have an art piece in a museum, or that was featured in a museum exhibit. I had an art piece featured in a museum exhibit. What art piece? This one. I'll try to keep it clean and not show my nipple. We'll move the camera here in just a second, though. So this piece right here, Cameron and Caleb are my boys' names. If you want to know anything about them, you can go in my past videos. But I collaborated with the tattoo artist to create a sleeping angel. And this angel was actually a figurine that is placed for children that pass away. I was a funeral director at the time, and that was a statue that was placed for children that have passed away. Well, it means a lot more to me now, but I worked with this artist in creating this piece, and at the time, our local museum was doing an exhibit on tattooing. And my artist was featured in the exhibit. And when the newspaper came to do some videoing, or the museum came to do some videoing and of his shop and of his tattoo work, it happened to be the day that I was getting my tattoo done. And they said, "Do you mind being in the exhibit?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I don't mind." So I actually got a small interview section where I talked about my tattoo journey and how it started at a very young age and how I plan to transition, but unfortunately because of my medical, I've never been able to transition. But my art, yes, was featured in a museum once, so I can't say that. My brother's got accolades. He's got books that have been published. I've got art in museum. Ha! Take that, Robert. Alright, we're going to try and find my other piece. This book, unfortunately, succumbed to an accident that I had in my home recently. You see all the brown. Yeah, this sketchbook, unfortunately, was one of the many things that were affected by the flood that I had, because I had a broken pipe in my bathroom that soaked every bit of my carpet, and I did not realize it. So I've done a lot of geometrical patterns in here. Here's one I think that could be a character out of the Jack Skellington universe. That's one of my tributes to Tim Burton. I've done a better one than him, but that was my first sketch of it. Here's a charcoal piece that I did half a face of. Keep in mind, these are really old ones. I don't ever date my art. That's a problem for sure. I know that this one is probably 20 years old, but that's about all I know. Just by the date of the things that I've put in my sketchbooks that I know that that's what it is. I hope this is the one that I'm thinking of. I did a really awesome Mad Hatter that I am proud of, very, very proud of. But I don't remember which sketchbook it's in. And that's the problem. I have so many different sketchbooks. Here's part of when I did them. Or no, this was Odin. Here's my Odin. When Odin comes to America. You see, I started sketching out what his outfit would look like, but I never got further than that. Here's another basic sketch of them without color on. Odin in disguise. Alright, MB, take care. Have a wonderful night. Thanks for sticking around and looking at these. Ooh, here's one I drew from when I was a teenager that I still have. This is when I was known as the hand of the jester. Court jester. Back when I was into lowriders. I did this one when I was probably 12 or 13 maybe. I'm proud of this one. Very, very proud of that one. I didn't even know that was in there. That just happened to be in the lid. Looks like I had the wrong book though for my Mad Hatter drawing. But you drew trucks? Like, do you mean like semi trucks, or do you mean like pickup style trucks, like F-150s, or do you mean like big cab trucks? Like, I don't know. I'm not sure of the proper name. Tractor. They always said tractor and trailers, but I grew up with tractors. What you drive is not a tractor. You might have a tractor trailer. That's not a tractor. I'm sorry. I know what tractors are. You do pickup trucks? Nice. Nice. Yeah, I used to do like the front emblem of an Impala really well. Oh man, I don't even know where those sketchbooks are. Those are definitely hidden. My most recent pencil piece, I did a short on, but if you didn't see that, I'll pop that one out. Now that's got some hidden detail. The closer you get into it, see it in person, you can really find some of the hidden shadow detail. But it doesn't show up very well in picture form or on camera. But oh, why am I closing this? I'm sitting here drawing stuff. Maybe Trucker, you'll appreciate this. I don't know. I came up with this the other day. Live, laugh, die. R.A.V. Retaliate and violence. I don't know why, but that one just came up in my head. I might put that on my tombstone. R.I.V.
Isn't that supposed to be a P?
No, trust me, it's not. Well, I appreciate you sticking out and hanging out today, Trucker, man. I definitely appreciate what you do as far as shipping goods back and forth across the United States, because I honestly feel like I live in a third world country right now in America. With as bad as our store shelves have gotten, as bad as the selections in our local gas stations. Like the other day, I went into the gas station to see if I could get some ginger ale. And we had like 2 pop coolers to choose from. One had 4 slots of Pepsi, one had 4 slots of Coke. There were 2 slots for Diet Pepsi, 2 slots for Diet Coke, 3 slots for Mountain Dew, and then 7-Up and Sprite, and 1 bottle of ginger ale in the entire store. But there were 31 individual can slots or bottle slots. 31 individual can or bottle slots for different types of alcohol, single serve. That disturbs me more than anything. I absolutely cannot believe 31 slots for individual alcohol purchases. And when it comes to soda, you got 4 selections. God forbid you want to get a ginger ale in this world. Store shelves are empty. I mean, I see the apocalypse coming, the Great Reset. If you've ever not read that book, I definitely would highly recommend reading The Great Reset. We are definitely in the Great Reset right now. Oh, but I believe a lot of crazy things. Who am I to say what's real and what's not? Trying to get back comfortable again. Oh. What kind of goods do you ship, if you don't mind me asking, Trucker? Do basic goods or anything specific? Whatever pays the money? Whatever pays the bills? Pull up a Durban sand, or a Durban poison cartridge. Maybe you're not here anymore. Ooh. Barley or barely? You barely ship anything? I thought it said barley for a second. You ship barley? Wow. Who's buying that? Who's buying truckloads of barley? Somebody knows something we don't if they're buying truckloads of barley. But is that kind of the way the shipping industry is? I mean, I know most places you'd have to pay for your own gas and stuff like that. Companies have stopped paying for gas per mile. How are you even making a living if you're not getting paid gas per mile? Like, I wanted to be a trucker for a long time, just because I loved traveling with my father as a young kid. I can never get this bracelet on. I don't know why I try. Or are you hauling my kind of flowers? That'd be fun to find out. I'd love to be interested in somebody who does that kind of job. $3 a mile. It's not that great. Yeah, I just wanted to get into it just to see the world. Just to see the Americas. More than anything. Got a massive tangle up going on. Yeah, nobody cares. I think cannabis haulers actually do have to have, unmarked security escorts in Illinois. I don't know. I don't know exactly how that works, but I'm sure you can't advertise that you're traveling with a whole truckload of cannabis when a cannabis truck delivery comes. I know they have security to unload and load, or not load, but unload into the dispensary. They always have armed security. And the time is never the same. They always change the time. They make sure they knew what they're doing so they don't get robbed. And trust me, Illinois is a shoot first, ask questions later state. Farmers and gangsters. We definitely are shoot first, ask questions later state. Now I'm at a point just playing with this because it's bothering me. one of my charms came off in the middle of the night. And so now I have the piece of twine it's connected, or the piece of metal it's connected to. Why that crap out? Not anymore. Hey, Robert, what's going on? MB was on here just a few minutes ago. I was talking to her about our trip down the Rock River in our kayaks, or your kayaks. That's pretty fun. There's a piece I'm working on right now. I'm just throwing a couple random things onto the page, and I'm just going to doodle it all in. Nothing like the big piece that I'm doing. My trip, you're almost drowning. I swear I drowned like 3 times that day and came back to life. I even told MB that I drowned like 3 times that day and came back to life, because that was at least 3 of this lion's 9 lives. But I'll never forget it, man. I'll never forget it. It was worth the memories. That's what I can honestly say, Robert, with most of our adventures. It was worth the memories. I showed it earlier, Robert, but I'll show you again. Sorry, where I'm at on progress with this. I got a lot more pencil work to do. A lot more detail work to put in. But I started coloring. And spot the mistake I already made. Spot the mistake. 3, 2, 1, done. Did you spot it? Huh? Did you spot it? Looks like Robert came in and Andy left. One of the circles has red and black. The other circle has black and red. They're split down the middle. You get what I'm saying? I'll show you again. One of the circles is black and red. The other circle is red and black. Not intentional. Just wasn't paying attention enough. So, don't you hate it when you're doing a gigantic, massive piece that's as symmetrical as you can possibly get it, and you're so damn happy with every bit of symmetry, and you make one goddamn mistake? They do if you flip. If it flipped, it would. But no. So yeah, I've got a. Basically, what I'm thinking is that's going to be acrylic out. I'm just going to go over it with acrylic and then repaint it so that you can't tell that those circles were done there before. We'll just put them right back in, but right this time. So, I don't know if you ever remember me having the lightning bolts everywhere. Back when I was a young kid, I was drawing the cloud with the lightning bolts everywhere. That used to be my tag back in the day until I realized that lightning bolts were a different kind of gang sign. Not my kind. I love this Durban poison. I find the right marker I was drawing with. I can't believe you ran to get another gecko. If anybody's in here and wants to chat, just type up. I'll try and catch it. Chat about anything and everything. I'm just doing some art right now, but you can chat about anything and everything you want to chat about. One thing that my friend Wheats had mentioned in his videos was organizing. I don't know what that means, Wheats. I don't organize anything. Really. I got stuff all over my room for art, and that's my room is my studio, really. And this is my desk. So, when it comes to organizing stuff, man, if I need something, if it's not within reach, I gotta go all over the place to try and find it. Small canvases are in that corner. I got sketch pads in the closet. I got sketch pads in that drawer. I got sketch pads in the, stuff's everywhere. Talking to people, nobody's there. Talking to nobody, like nobody cares. Reeds, I see you popping out a lot of videos lately. I hope that really helps you. I should have played music. a few people in here. Not very many. Never more than 2 at a time. 2 or 3 maybe. Oh wow.
Does it look okay? I'm not sure if I got the face up too high, but that's going to be a pain in the ass to have to move.
No, that's alright. Is there any way you can shape the tail?
No, the tail doesn't shape unless I can find a way to put wire in it, and everybody that's done it says it's way too hard to figure out. So all the tails hang like that. Trust me, I've tried bending it. It doesn't bend. And everybody said that to try to get a wire through it, because of the different thicknesses, it's way too hard. It looks okay though?
Yeah, I think it. So how does it work? How does the battery work?
Easy. Got that here on the side over there. You shut it off and on.
How long does that last? Is it
I
rechargeable?
have no idea. It's It's put batteries in it. I can't get this shit off right now, but it's because I gotta trim this. Try it one more time.
Cutting her off, guys. Have a good night.